He holds the sword. Okay, we've got two non-squires here.
Yes, we do.
On one side of the arena, we have black-red zombies. On the other side of the arena, it looks like we're facing
Wolf
off
Run Ramp?
Wolf Run Ramp, very similar to the Pro Tour Championship list. A couple of small differences. There is a Red Sun Zenith in this list and a Worm Coil engine.
So we're going to see Jason Black lead off. He's got a Galvanic Blast for Conor McCormack's Diagraph Ghoul into a turn 2 Sphere of the Suns. Whereas Conor McCormack draws, it looks like he's got at least one more land in his hand. Can't see what else, unfortunately. But Jason Black taps out on turn 4 for Sadbot.
Now, it's funny, earlier Matthias was saying that they called this the 2-4-6, turn 2 ramp, turn 3 ramp into 4 mana to 5 mana, and then 6 mana on turn 4. The 2-4-6 being the crazy start that you really don't want to see if you're on the other side of the table.
That would be pretty bad. So right now we have Jason Black with five mana sources in play. Conor McCormack has 2. And this could, let me see, it looks like Jason Black is running 6 Titans, 4 Primeval, and 2 Inferno, as well as a Worm Coil engine. So those are all solid options. Looks like we have a Geralf's Messenger for Conor McCormack, which is going to put Jason Black down to 18.
Geralf's Messenger in a lot of ways has been called the reverse Kitchen Finks, and that's a pretty appropriate name in a lot of ways.
It absolutely is. It's got Undying, it hits for 2 on the way in, it hits for 2 on the way out.
Another solemn swing. Look at that. No fear. I think he's just going to go over the top of that zombie there. It's 3-2. What do you expect, a 6-6 coming down there?
Yeah, we're looking probably a Primeval Titan.
Boom. There he is.
You know, I keep forgetting that people play this card in formats other than EDH. But, wow, okay, so we're going to have Jason Black.
I take it you're a Commander player.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. I may or may not have lost days of sleep to playing EDH. So it looks like Jason Black, goes for double Inkmoth Nexus off Primeval Titan?
I think I see a Wolf Run there at the bottom of that stack.
Yep, he just played that this turn. And
so that gives him plenty of access to the cards he needs to have an endless stream of little robots flying through the air.
Indeed. So Conor McCormack, he's got his 4 lands. I mean, he's going to get in with that. He's going to swing with Geralf's Messenger.
Now, he does this attack with the Messenger partly because it might allow him to use one of his Incinerates to kill a Primeval Titan. And that is a much better way for a Primeval Titan to die. Also, Tragic Slip would be another possibility. But Jason does not take the bait.
No, that would be a very suboptimal play for Jason Black at this point. He wants to swing again. He's at 15 life. It would take a lot for Jason Black to be in a really dangerous position, needing to block Geralf's Messenger at 18 life.
For those of you who are just joining us, my name's Adrian Sullivan. I'm joined in the booth today by Nicholas Sabin. Well, not today, for this round. Matthias Hunt is the person we normally have in the booth, Nicholas stepping in. We see an Incinerate from Conor McCormack, our Zombies player, killing a Solemn Simulacrum, followed by a Tragic Slip to finish off the Primeval Titans.
Some removal. So Jason Black, still, I mean, he's in a pretty good board position, don't you think?
I think he's in great shape.
He's got 3 Inkmoth Nexuses. He's got Kessig Wolf Run.
He's got a
boatload of mana.
It looks as though he has a Huntmaster in his hand as well.
That would be a pretty sick play for Jason Black right now. Huntmaster, probably the breakout card from Pro Tour Honolulu, or at least one of the big cards from Dark Ascension to make waves this Pro Tour.
I think that I definitely undervalued the card when it was first printed, and I have been shown to be a little wrong on that one. Look at this. Using up a sphere to cast a new sphere.
Seems good.
Well, he's got 6 mana left. He better use it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Huntmaster.
Oh, there we go. The thing about Huntmaster of the Fells is it's not a card that just shouts at you, I am impossibly broken, play me. But incrementally over the course of several turns, it will really turn a game in your favor. It's not splashy, it's not necessarily as sexy as something like a Primeval Titan or a Jace the Mind Sculptor, but it's a workhorse of a card, and certainly not something that Conor McCormack really wants to see here.
What do we have here?
Tragic Slip?
What died? Oh, this is the same turn as during the attack. He did the burn. Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Yep,
It's still the same turn. In with Messenger. Messenger does not eat the wolf, apparently. Or wolf does not eat the messenger, I should say.
Well, I mean, in this position, it probably would be good to kill the messenger. Badunks. But, so we have Jason Black now with 1 live Sphere of the Sun's, 1 dead. He's not doing anything with the Inkmoth Nexuses, which is interesting, but...
Well, he's got time to do that at this... right now, at this stage in the game, he has almost gotten to the point where he can turn the corner and be the attacker, but he's still really got to, think about the cards in McCormack's hand, because if he gets 1 Inkmoth shot down, let's say he pumps it up, that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He can only make it a 5-1, well, only a 5-1, but if it gets shot down, that means that it's going to actually take several swings for him to get in there. Now here he comes. He's trying to build it up for a little bit later.
That seems like a stronger play.
Well, and notice that right now he actually tapped the wolf run because he's not planning on using it for the purposes of pumping anything up this turn.
Sure.
5 mana? 4 mana? Was that 4 or 5? There's another Huntmaster.
Seems fine. So Jason Black now with 2 wolves and a Huntmaster, facing down Conor McCormack, who has Incinerate in the grip, opts not to cast at end of turn.
And a Liliana now.
Okay, that's going to be a little interesting.
In comes the messenger. Will a wolf kill the messenger?
Looks like not.
Oh, it's too bad.
Looks like not. So Jason Black is going to go down to 11 here.
Liliana of the Veil comes down, probably is going to do the sacrifice effect. A tapped wolf dies. Incinerate is available from Conor's hand. He says go.
So we're going to see Jason Black untaps, draws, looks like a land.
Your eyes are finer than mine.
And yet we both wear glasses. So we're going to see probably more Inkmoth Nexuses swing from Jason Black at this point.
Now that he's actually got that poison in there, it's worthwhile to just push this through another turn. Is he going to tap the wolf and attack? Or is he going to hang back?
I think you got to turn him sideways at this point, to be perfectly honest with you.
And look at that. He's spending some manas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Another Titan.
That would be an acceptable card. Let's see. Yep,
Inferno.
Oh.
1 to your noggin and anything else? Now remember, the damage, you target the player, and then once the damage is essentially resolving, then you can redirect it, but have to redirect all of it to a Planeswalker. So
what Jason, I'm sure, would love to do here is go 1 to Liliana, 2 to Connor, but...
That's not how it works. I think he's trying to.
Nope.
I think that's what he's trying to do, though.
Yeah, I mean, intuitively it almost seems like it should work that way, but that's not what the rules allow, unfortunately.
I believe the judge is informing Jason
that
that's not how it works.
Oh, but what if it did? So let's see. It looks as though Jason's just going to go to the face, it seems.
Oh, wow.
And then swing in.
And then the Huntmaster's coming in at Liliana. I believe that's going to eat a lightning bolt to keep the Liliana around. Oh, wow. I think I guess Connor's like, you tap that Huntmaster? That's great. I'm just going to try to burn you out.
I mean...
Might be a hard sell.
It's a possibility, but at this point, let me see. Now, Jason Black he's hurting for red mana. He only has a Mountain and a Sphere of the Suns. So Inferno Titan's going to get big, but not that big. Passes the turn. Conor passes back. And at this point, so Jason Black is going to draw something.
This is a very tenuous position for Conor McCormack. That single Inferno Titan represents so much danger.
It really feels like Conor he wants to extend this last bit of reach as far as he can. Jason's demonstrated that he's unwilling to get in front of Geralf's Messenger. But...
And we see 2 and 1. The Inferno Titan casts Arc Lightning, killing the Geralf's Messenger. It comes back with Undying, hitting 2. And you're absolutely right, Nicholas. He's been trying to not kill it, but now he stops just so that the Inferno Titan can get through.
Right, so we're going to see Jason Black
and
Conor
GG's.
GG's.
Yeah, he's like, that's good times for me to go to the next game.
Seems fine.
Sideboard times. I think one of the things we're going to see, Jason already has one Red Sun Zenith in his main deck. But I think he's actually going to board in yet another Red Sun Zenith. And the reason I think he's going to do it, it's a often disregarded effect of Red Sun Zenith. Exile. Red Sun Zenith, unlike Devil's Play, Red Sun Zenith exiles what it kills.
And yeah, I mean, you saw in that match, folks, how Jason Black was really trying to play around the Undying trigger on Geralf's Messenger. And Red Sun Zenith will just sort of obviate that for him very cleanly. If you can just exile the messengers, then that really blunts that line of attack for Conor McCormack. Now,
Other things that he might bring. What were you going to say?
No, just please go ahead.
Oh, another thing you might see is we might see Tree of Redemption come in as a very excellent answer to the aggressive start that a zombie deck can pull out. And I don't think we'll see much more else. It's possible we'll see Rack with Madness come in, but unlikely. However, earlier today, Matthias and I were joking because someone was talking about a Rack with Madness on Phyrexian Obliterator. And you know what?
Oh.
Jason Black has Rack with Madness, and Conor McCormack has Phyrexian Obliterator.
Wow.
It's possible that some crazy stuff can happen
real quick. Now, looking at the sideboard for Conor McCormack, we see, well, Traitorous Blood seems perfectly fine here.
Absolutely. I think most likely what we're going to end up seeing here is a removal of a card like, let's say, Fume Spitter, and perhaps Galvanic Blast, because they're just kind of slightly inferior when it comes to dealing with the cards that Jason has.
Correct.
And bringing in Traitorous Blood and perhaps Hellrider.
Hellrider would be a very good card in this matchup, I think. He's got enough men to make it hurt. He's got enough reach to make it really hurt. Rack with Madness would also be good here. It would give Conor an out to Titans. We have one Thrun in Jason Black's deck, but Geth's Verdict, probably not so much.
It's not great. It's not terrible, but I mean, I like what you're saying. That I can see what Rack with Madness has a potential thing to do against a Titan, but also I really do like just taking it and whopping them up the head with a Traitorous Blood.
Yeah, that's always about the best feeling in the world. I love searching for lands in my opponent's Primeval Titans.
You know, it's sort of like, and this won't apply to everyone. Not everyone is going to agree with this statement, but when you Traitorous Blood a, let's say, Inferno Titan, it's sort of like you got some bacon sizzling there on the griddle. You're just like, oh, this is gonna feel so good when I eat it. Oh man.
Oh boy, ladies and gentlemen, Adrian Sullivan, bacon enthusiast.
I've got bacon sleeves and I play with them.
I believe you. I've seen those sleeves. So looks like they're ready to present. We're going to see Game 2, Jason Black up one game on Conor McCormack. It looked like Jason really just had a much stronger opening. He had the Galvanic Blast for Diagraph Ghoul on turn 1, segued into Sphere of the Suns, into Solemn Simulacrum, into Primeval Titan, and, you know, zombies can really get in there and make the early game difficult, but not effectively being able to attack until turn 3 is really not where Conor wants to be in this matchup.
One of the things about the zombie deck is that it really has a lot of stuttered starts, so to speak, where if it doesn't have the 1-drop, sometimes it just doesn't, it just kind of sits.
Right.
And that's huge. That's a really big deal when you're like...
I mean, the curve on the creatures in this deck is kind of interesting. You have 10 1-drops,
two of them are not very exciting one-drops either.
No, I mean, Fume Spitters. And then no 2-drops in the creature slot. Unless, well, wait, Mortar Pod.
Not in this matchup. It's more of a spell.
Then you have 2 Obliterator or 4 Messengers at the 3 spot and 2 Obliterators at the 4 spot. That's not a very smooth curve for Conor McCormack, I don't think.
That's one of the problems that I think a lot of people are trying to fill out, sometimes with blue, to get in phantasmal images, you know,
right. Sure.
or to bring in the Highborn Ghoul.
But for Conor McCormack, he really wants to just... I mean, it's possible that Jason just gets a 2/4/6 again, and
it's such a great turn, isn't it? Like,
it really is.
The 2/4/6. It's so true. Where you can 2 mana, 4 mana, 6 mana.
Yep.
I like that. That's nice.
Yep.
Thank you, Matthias Hunt, for
Thank you so much.
Bringing us some Minnesota technology when it comes to the terms.
Oh man, Minnesota! I love Minnesota.
You know, Minnesota's an okay place.
It's pretty great. They got a lot of really good hip hop in Minnesota. They got covers.
Doomtree.
Oh my God, I love Doomtree. I love Doomtree so much.
I was really sad. I missed a free Doomtree show because I was too tired.
Wait, aren't you? Isn't your blood type Mountain Dew?
I was tired. I was recovering from a Star City Games event, and I missed the Doomtree show as a result.
Sick rubbins, Adrian. Sick rubbins.
There was a free Invincible show the next night, if for any of you Detroit hip-hop fans.
Okay,
Conor McCormack opens up with Gravecrawler.
So we're going to see, there's the 1-drop. Jason Black, in comparison, has a Rootbound Crag.
In comes the Gravecrawler.
What does...
Oh, no 2-drop.
No, well...
I see an Obliterator. I think I see an Incinerate, but I could be wrong on that. What was your question, Nicholas?
I was actually going to ask a stupid question, but instead I'm not going to ask it and, you know, redirect all of y'all to notice that Jason Black just cast Rampant Growth.
Turn 2, Rampant Growth.
Rut-Roar-Orge. If I see a Solemn Simulacrum in Jason Black's hand, I may just have to high-five somebody. And Adrian's the closest proximity.
2/4/6.
So. Yeah, we love the Minnesota slang here. So Jason Black goes to get a Forest to match up with his Kessig Wolf run. Now, Conor McCormack has, it looks like, I think I see an Incinerate and a Tragic Slip. Gravecrawler mashes in for 2. Conor passes back.
Look at that. Now the awkwardness of Conor's draw here, in a certain sense, has this 1-drop and then isn't doing anything this whole time.
So we see Huntmaster from Jason Black.
Recovering a little bit of that life.
And
then look at the table. The table is just so gummed up just from one spell.
It's going to be tough. I mean, at this point, you're Conor McCormack. You crack in, you're going to get a Wolf.
Here's the
yep.
In for 2, and he's got mana for the Obliterator in his hand. Here it comes. Now, okay, will Jason live the dream? 1 Rack with Madness on the board. Rack the Obliterator. Rack the Obliterator.
Oh man, I feel like that should be a hashtag.
Nice. Okay, it's gonna be.
Get there. 1 time, dealer. So we see Jason Black, Huntmaster, a couple lands, and there's a big old beefy Obliterator in the way. So we see land number 5 for Jason Black. And tap 2 Sphere of the Suns. That's not a Rack with Madness. What the heck? No, that's not the play we want. Pass. What? Conor McCormack checking to see that, yes, Huntmaster really does get quite silly. Looks like we have Conor McCormack the grip of, I definitely see an Incinerate, Mortar Pod, looks like Tragic Slip. So Mortar Pod is, I don't know, possibly going to turn on Tragic Slip for Conor McCormack here. Conor cracks in with Obliterator and Gravecrawler. How do you block at this point, Adrian? Like, what do you, if you're Jason Black?
Well, you don't want to block the Obliterator at all. You can't kill it, and it just doesn't do any good. So yeah, you just do exactly what Jason did. Just get rid of the zombie, let Conor potentially bring back the zombie later, and hope that it all works out. Obliterator is one of those cards that the ways to deal with Obliterator are basically to either go over the top of it, or to remove it from the game, or to -X it.
is this a let the Wookiee win kind of situation we're talking about then? I mean, just take 5, take 5, take 5.
Pretty much. I mean, you have to basically race it or put such board presence out that you don't care, which again is a race it kind of situation.
All right, so Jason Black now it looks like has 7 lands. Taps 6 of them for a Primeval Titan. Seems just fine. Jason getting Inkmoth Nexus. And what else? Just another Inkmoth Nexus, looks like, folks.
And Matthias Hunt walks by just in time to see the tweet of the Rack with Madness, the Obliterator, Hope.
That I could die a fulfilled and complete man.
Well, I'm kind of sad that Matthias wasn't here in time to see the 2-4-6, because instead it was more of the 2-4. Let's hang on a second.
So we're going to see Jason Black swings in. Mortar Pod gets in the way and then
Tragic
on the Titan after Mortar Pod got in the way of Huntmaster, and not looking that great for Jason Black. Dragon Skull Summit turns on red for Conor McCormack.
He equips the Mortar Pod to the Phyrexian Obliterator, comes on in,
guess?
take 5. Well, I mean, why not? He's got nothing else to do with the mana.
Sure.
It's not great, but, you know. Oh, boy, is he going for the kill? It's going to be a Brimstone Volley, maybe? And the
Boom.
Brimstone kill.
Boom. That hurts. Wow, okay. So with that, folks, we see Conor McCormack tie up 1-1 against Jason Black. Looks like that was more in line with the kind of opening Conor McCormack wants in this matchup.
Yeah, well, I mean, he doesn't have the kind of deck that can really, really push the kind of aggressive draws the black-blue ones have, because he really only has a couple of spells for his 1-drop, no spells for his 2-drop that are particularly aggressive, and his 3-drop is also thin. But what he does to make up for that is a lot of burn. A lot of burn.
Yup.
Both of these players are undefeated right now, so it's not as though, you know, they've been being slouches today. They've been working hard to get here. I believe 6-0 were Conor McCormack and Jason Black sitting down against each other.
Seems fine. Now, you'd mentioned, Adrian, that Conor McCormack's packing a lot of burn. It looks like he's got 10, he's got 4 Incinerates, he's got 4 Brimstone Volleys, we have 2 Galvanic Blast, Trips Mortar Pod, which, I mean, not exactly burn, but...
Well, it accomplishes some of the same purpose, particularly if you have a Grave Crawler, another zombie, and a Mortar Pod. It's very inefficient. You know, it's 3 mana to get 1 damage, but it's a little bit of poking away.
So it's Rod of Ruin, basically, is what you're saying?
Well, it's not just Rod of Ruin, because it's a poly artifact rather than a mono artifact.
It's a poly Rod of Ruin.
Seems good. Since you're going to bring up Rod of Ruin, I'll bring up some old school terminology.
Yeah, mono artifacts, poly artifacts.
Now, for those of you who don't know, way back in the day, a lot of cards that were artifacts did not have the tap symbol on them. Instead, they said poly, which meant you would tap it to use it.
Was that poly or was that mono?
No, that was mono. Sorry. Yes.
So
you would tap it to use it.
So Mox Ruby, mono artifact.
Yep.
Howling Mine, poly artifact. And now we've just sort of done away with that because we have the tap symbol. Looks like Jason Black getting one last shuffle in, trying to make sure that everything's randomized nice and neat. It bears noting, folks watching at home, when you're shuffling in between games, you have 3 minutes to do everything. That means make your sideboarding decisions, that means shuffle your opponent's deck. Once you present, you're good. If you need to mulligan, if you need to draw, redraw, that's fine, but we do expect you to play reasonably when you're doing your mid-game stuff.
Yeah, I have a question for you.
Sure.
So I would view this as, what do I call it, unsporting.
Okay.
If a player was ahead in a match and the game took a while, if they milked that 3 minutes with every mulligan and just mulliganed way down.
Mono artifact and continuous
mono
artifacts.
And continuous, those were the terms. But I would view that as unsporting. Let's say it like took 35 minutes to finish game 1 on a match.
Sure.
And then I shuffle, and we're at 38 minutes. And then I mulligan, and we're at 41. And then I mulligan, and we're at 44. That just seems really unsporting to me. Is there something you could call on? Let's hold on that thought for a second,
sure.
actually. 2 mana versus 2 mana. Think on that, though.
Yeah, absolutely. So we see, looks like Jason Black doesn't get a 2/4/6, but Conor McCormack's draw is also pretty slow. I mean, he's got the Geralf's Messenger on turn 3, but he really wants a Diregraph Ghoul on turn 1 to go with that. Or a Gravecrawler even. Either of those would be perfectly fine. So we now see Jason Black on turn 4. It's going to be at 18 life from Geralf's Messenger entering the battlefield. Geralf's Messenger entering the battlefield. Thinking. Casting Red Sun.
Boom. And it doesn't come back. No, he's saying exile. Exile. Read it. What does that do?
Read the friendly card.
What? Oh my god.
Really? That seems so good.
Red Sun's Zenith. Shuffled back in.
Ah, sick life. Sick life.
Yeah, in testing for a Pro Tour with Patrick Chapin, he asked me why I didn't have Devil's Play in my deck. And I said, well, because sometimes you exile things, and that's important. He's like, that never happens. That never happens.
And then you just sort of slide Geralf's Messenger across the table and go, really?
It was Wormcoil Engine that was happening with that one.
Oh, really? Yeah, wow. Okay, yup.
Another Messenger. Rampant. Jason, a little late to the party with his Rampant Growths.
Yeah, that would have been a much better turn, too. But we do have Jason Black at 16. Conor McCormack still at a healthy 20 untaps. Looks like Jason Black's going to go to 13. And we see...
Say a go. Is that a Brimstone Volley in Conor McCormack's hand?
I think it might be.
I think I see a Galvanic Blast in Jason's hand. There's Jens Thorin, the sad robot.
That's not Jens Thorin, that's just a wacky old robot.
Yeah, well, you know what? In my head, whenever I see invitational cards with new art that doesn't look like the invitational person, I ignore the new art and I make it into the correct art in my own head.
Is it true that Chris Picula is a black one?
He has recently become one, apparently.
How
Arc Trail.
awkward.
Arc Trail from the board.
So we're gonna
2 and 1.
Yeah, I really don't like the swapping of the art. If a player wins an invitational, they deserve to have their art on the card.
Yes. You could make new invitational art. It's happened for certain players, Kai Buddha.
Well, I mean, as it turns out, for those of you who weren't playing on the Pro Tour when Kai Buddha was playing, he does not, in fact, weigh 500 pounds, as the Onslaught art forward made Prodigy would ask you to believe. He's not a delicate flower, but he's certainly not a sumo wrestler. So we see Huntmaster of the Fells for Jason Black on a precarious 11 life, facing down Conor McCormack's Geralf's Messenger. Now, as opposed to last game where Conor seemed pretty choked on the red.
Oh, look at that Galvanic Blast.
Really?
Wow.
Really?
I think that might have been during upkeep.
Possible. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. So we're going to see... I love Tragic Slip because it's funny, but at the same time, I would just gnash my teeth and wail in despair anytime it was played against me. Now, Jason Black's got a pretty healthy grip. He's only got 5 lands out, which is not quite enough. So we're going to see Jason at 7, Conor at 20. And gosh, if you're Jason Black at this point, Adrian, what do you want? What are you hoping to get from your deck at this point?
More Huntmasters.
More Huntmasters?
There we go.
You mean like that one?
Yeah, I like that one.
Must be nice.
I mean, what you basically just want is to have your life total climb up a little bit, just to get out of range of some burn.
So we're going to see... Looks get in for Wolf. Conor going to 18.
Now, Conor McCormack has a Traitorous Blood in hand. He's saving it for a rainy day. But, I mean, one of the dreams that you can live... there we got a Gravecrawler. Is that from the yard? I think that was from the yard.
That was from the grip.
Okay. He has one in the yard, doesn't he? Or was that last game?
I think that was last game.
Okay. You really want to kind of live the dream with Traitorous Blood and steal something like an Inferno Titan.
It's definitely tempting.
Wolf Chump.
It's a cool play. It's not... You want to be able to tell your friends that you blew them out, but that's not always how it's going to be.
Looks like a Galvanic Blast finishes things off.
Seems good. So we're going to see another Tragic Slip. My word. So Jason Black untaps. He has a wolf facing down a Gravecrawler. And I got to imagine that this is a board position that's more to Jason Black's liking. He's at 11 life, not terribly good, but not miserable either. And Conor McCormack has just been drawing land like it's all he's good for. But he does have, it looks like, Tragic Slip, Mortar Pod, and Traitorous Blood in his hand. So he almost, at this point, wants Jason Black to cast a Titan. He's almost saying, go ahead, just cast it, just one. It'll be cool.
This is one of the things to be very careful of when you're playing against a deck that has aggressive cards and red. Oh, look at that. Just a nice clear the way, in for 2.
Oh. Now, Conor McCormack cannot go Rod of Ruin at this point. So Jason Black untaps and throws down a Worm Coil Engine. Oh. Oh boy. I think we're seeing game. GG.
I think that might be an All She Wrote. Oh, and the
GG.
hand is extended.
Wow. And he had the Brimstone Volley as well.
Yeah.
Seems...
A quick 2-1.